it's Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and I'm out here in the garden checking on things today. And it's about 102 today, and it's at the point, and if you've watched my videos in the summertime, I always say this is the Sophie's Choice part of the summer. This is where I have to start deciding what I want to keep growing, what I want to let die, because it gets to be an irrigation nightmare, and it gets to be the water is costing more than what my garden is putting out. So this year my tomatoes have done really well, which is usually not the case. So they're still got flowers on them, but it is so hot I don't know what's going to happen. My beans are not doing good this year. At both places they're not doing good. So about this year, just beans aren't doing good. My elderberries are also not doing very well this year. The other house was a little bit better up there in the northern county, and they're growing. They usually grow a little bit better, but they just aren't growing so great this year. And mine here, the birds are just getting all of them, the blue jays and stuff. But you can see they're getting that nice black hue. At the other house, they will usually end up being really big berries. But see, they're just getting picked apart by the birds, and what the birds aren't getting, the heat is killing. My spinach and my kale will usually hang in there. I don't know how well my tomatoes will be going. My beans, I've replanted 3 times, and the rabbits keep getting the new shoots is what the problem is. My coneflower are not doing as well this year. I usually have a row of them. I've got one. My parsley is doing good. I know it's hard to see. And my horehound, which I have not cut back, is going crazy, which is really good. So that's a good year for horehound. Well, we came out here, I wanted to show you about the valerian I'm growing, and I'm fixing to probably repot this. I need to water it, because these can grow up to 4 feet tall, and this one, as you can see, is getting pretty big already. This is a sedative, and it is used for insomnia, anxiety, nervousness, anything that you're going to want to have a chill effect, sort of like a chamomile tea, only this is a lot stronger than chamomile. Chamomile, I would say, is a tea good for relaxing, and valerian is a tea good for knocking you out. So the parts of the valerian plant that are utilized are the roots, and I wanted to come out and show you the live plant before we get into looking at the dried version of the plant. So that is my valerian plant for right now. Okay, let's look at the dried valerian root. Obviously you harvest your root and you dry it. I always just hang mine to dry. Some people dehydrate it. I don't like to dehydrate medicinal herbs if I don't have to. If I can let them air dry, that's fine. Just let them dry and then chop them up. And valerian root is one of the stinkiest herbs. It really smells. And if you have it in something that isn't airtight, like my little jars that I store in, I use clear jars because I store them in a really dark cabinet. If you have any light coming into the place where you're storing your herbs, you need to use an amber colored or dark blue or some non-transparent container. But I always keep mine stored where there's no light. But if you have it in some sort of container where it's not airtight, it's going to really smell. It smells like old smelly gym socks, and that's about what it tastes like too. Valerian root is not very palatable. If you're using it in a tea, you want to make sure you mix it in with, I always use Imperial cinnamon candies. It really masks the taste. You know, about a spoonful of those little red candies, and you can buy them. I buy mine online by the pound. If you're using valerian in some sort of tea, I would use peppermint or stevia if you don't want to use sugar or honey, but I recommend using the cinnamon candies because it really tastes bad. So valerian root, my plant did not have the flowers yet, but it will have white to pale pink flowers. We talked about how it is a sedative. If you are going to be taking valerian root in a tea or anything else, and if you are taking other prescription drugs, please do your research. Look up WebMD has a really good list. Valerian does interfere with any depressants, any anxiety medicines. It interferes with a lot of different liver medicines, and it also will interfere with anesthesia if you're having any sort of procedure. So Always consult your doctor if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Also consult your doctor. This is, like I said earlier when we were looking at the live plant, it's not like chamomile where it just sort of chills you out. This will really make you sleepy and it knocks me out. I mean, like a hard sleep. I do not have any kind of like hangover feelings like a narcotic would leave me with, but it does knock me out. Some studies have showed that some people report having hallucinogenic dreams or very vivid, strange dreams on this. I've never had anything. In fact, it knocks me out so much I don't remember any dreams I've had. I'm just out. So it's really good. It's like for stress, headache, insomnia, anxiety. There are still studies being done whether or not it helps menstrual cramps and post-menopausal issues. I think those studies are still, they're always using a lot of herbs in different studies trying to see how they're effective. And a lot of those herb studies come out of Iran and come out of India. And I guess they still use a lot more herbal practices over there than America does, because a lot of Americans tend to dismiss herbal remedies as, hocus pocus or just quackery. They don't realize that many of the modern medications that we have today came originally from herbal medications. So I just want to let you look at what it looked like, talk about a little bit what it smells like, and I'm going to put up right now a recipe that I have created for insomnia. My husband uses it frequently, so let's look at that recipe. And I do have an upcoming article in Backwoods Survival Guide dealing with anxiety type herbs, and this insomnia tea will be in that article too. So I hope this gives you a little bit of information about valerian root if you're looking into growing it, if you do have anxiety issues, PTSD, or insomnia, or stress, and you just are looking for a natural, non-prescription way of just making a tea. And this is a very effective herb for that. So this has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and thank you for joining us.